Hello, everyone. It's Kelson64, your favorite moderator at the Gran Turismo subreddit. And every week, I see at least a couple of posts on the subreddit about DR. Sometimes about SR, but mostly about DR. And I wanted to address that in this video, and I will be starting the race soon, don't worry. How does DR work? Basically, in simplified terms, for every player you finish ahead of, you get positive DR points. For every player you finish behind, you get negative DR points. So if you look at the top left corner of the screen right here, we have 16 racers. I am currently in 8th place, which means I'm in the upper half of the bracket. If I finish right here, I will get positive DR. Obviously, if I get 7th or 6th or 5th, etc., I will get incrementally more DR. The higher you finish, the more DR you get. The lower you finish, the less or even negative DR you get. Okay, so that's the explanation simplified of DR, and I'm going to start the race now. Now, the more complicated is this. I'm a B racer. I'm a BDR racer. And every once in a while I'll fall to C if I have a particularly bad day and I quickly get back to B. I'm never going to get to A. I just won't. I can tell you that right now. So my thing is maintaining my BDR rating. So, and as you can see, I already got 7th because somebody just didn't start the race. Anyway, a more complicated explanation of DR is, as a B-rated driver, early in the morning before I go to work, if I play the game, when I get into a B lobby, it's not actually a B lobby. Sometimes it has A plus, and even C racers in it. If you finish ahead of an A-rated driver as a B-rated driver yourself, you will get even more DR increase at the end of the race. Okay? That's pretty much the explanation of DR. So let's talk about things that I found help me improve my DR. First things first, qualify well. Obviously, if you qualify on the pole, you have a stronger chance of finishing high. If you qualify, say, 12th, you're going to have a more rough time. But let's talk about what you can do when you do qualify 12th and how to raise your DR from there. One of the things that I do when I qualify 12th, which I do quite often, is I go into what I call clean race mode. I found that if I concentrate on two things, concentrate on having a clean race and concentrate on keeping a distance between the person behind me, I usually finish well. All right, now we've already seen that I started 8th and I'm already up to 5th after just over a lap because racers, either one guy didn't get started, there's been a couple of mistakes that allowed me to pass. And that's common. You'll make mistakes too. That's why it's very important to get a distance from the guy behind you, because if you do make a mistake, you may be able to recover and not lose a position or lose several positions. But it's important, especially on a race like Daily Race B, which is pretty much a sprint every week, that you have a clean race to begin with, because even a half-second penalty, especially on the first lap, can lose you tremendous amount of positions. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. So race clean. Another thing that I do, and I consider this kind of a mistake that other people use, is, and I can't really use this example in this race because I'm kind of in clean air through most of this race. But when you have somebody in front of you, as long as they're up to like a similar speed as you, early in the race, there's no need to pass them. Get in the slipstream, and together you will be faster. This does two things. It puts distance between you and the guy behind you, and it also lets you catch up to the people in front of you. So use the slipstream. As you can see, the guys in front of me seem to be battling because I see smoke and dirt and everything flying. But they're using slipstream and they're keeping their distance from me. Now, the other thing is that when you're in a battle with somebody, side by side, you're slowing down, which allows the people behind you to catch up, which means there's a stronger possibility that they are either going to pass you or wreck you. But there's also a possibility that you may, driving side by side through a particularly tricky part of the circuit, you can, bin yourself or get a penalty or something. So I can understand driving side by side or fighting for position later in the race, but on first, second lap, unless there's a clear opportunity to pass, don't do it. You're just going to slow yourself down and give the players behind you an opportunity to catch up, or you're going to make a mistake or do something that's going to be a detriment to your speed or position. It's as simple as that. Obviously, when you're racing, you're going to run into troublemakers. So my other piece of advice is know your opponents. Whether they're in front of you or behind you, if they're very aggressive and they're in front of you, chances are they may actually do what I call plowing the field. They'll move some of the players out of the way and let you catch up. If they're behind you, you have to drive maybe defensively. And understand that there's a difference between driving defensively and blocking. Blocking is never going to work for you. It's going to slow you down. But driving defensively, if you know how to drive defensively and not lose time, that's going to be good for you because you'll be able to keep your position. Sometimes getting past is not the end of the world. I would rather get past, like I'm in fourth position right now, I'd rather get passed by the fifth place player who is quite a distance behind me, but I'd rather get passed by him and still get fifth place rather than fight for the position. If he's a faster car and I know he's faster, fight for the position, end up getting binned or a penalty or whatever, and all of a sudden I go from fourth place to ninth place, and now I'm in the lower part of the bracket. So if there's any questions about this, leave a comment. I'll answer it, or I invite anybody to answer any questions that there might be. If you have something in something that I said that you disagree with, feel free to disagree with me, but keep within the rules. And if you have other pieces of advice that I didn't share, as I tried to keep it basic, go for it. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful at least a little bit, and have a great day.